What would you buy if you had to start all over again? What is good, YouTube? It's That One Camera Guy back at it again with another podcast for you. Today is episode 4, and I'm filming this on June 21st, Wednesday. And today's topic is something I've been always wanting to dive into. And really, it's something I want to know from you, the viewers or listeners, however you're hearing this now, is let's say you have photography equipment and you have gear. Maybe you're an amateur enthusiast. Maybe you're a professional. What would happen if you lost everything, right? Knock on wood or whatever you want to say. Let's say you lost all of your equipment and gear and you had about $1,000 in your pocket and you had to start all over again and build a business. Let's say your goal was to become a professional photographer. What would you buy? What would you get? And what would you prioritize? What would be your plan of action in order for you to get back into the game and be successful at what you want to do? And so I've been thinking about this for quite a while because I have a lot of cameras. I have a handful of lenses and so forth. But I had to really think about it. You know, I've seen this question pop up on my YouTube channel a couple times, and it really made me think, what would be the most essential things for me to get started? Now, I've gotten this question from some of my students before. They're looking for cameras, and what my recommendations are. And what I typically do when I recommend something is to go based on your budget. So, for example, if you don't really have a good budget, you should focus on getting just kind of a basic DSLR. I know the people will say, I shill for Sony and whatnot, but the reality or the situation is the fact that Sony is expensive right now for the Sony E-mount system. But if you go with a DSLR, you're going to get a lot more money or bang for your buck if you go the route of DSLRs, the Nikon or Canon. They are some of the most cost-effective gear tools you can get right now. Okay, almost having problems with my words right there. So here's what I would do if I was going to go back in time and I had a very limited budget, maybe even just $500, let's say. Let's say I had to build my way back up to the top, right? I had $500. So what I would do is I would quickly go online, and let's go ahead and do that right now. I have not done any searches right now, so we're all going to be learning together here. So I'm going to go ahead and search up Canon T2i. That's the first camera I would go ahead and take a look at. And this was actually the very first camera I got, right? Was a Canon T2i. This is my original DSLR, how I all got started into this entire thing. So I'm jumping into here with the Canon T2i, and what I want is something maybe with a kit lens per se to get me going. I've seen prices of the Canon T2i dip to about $200 at some point, and I was very impressed with that. Look at this one here. Let's see if this is damaged or not. Let's take a look here. No defects. Works just like a new camera. All right. Everything looks okay. I think this would be it, man. Like, this would be it. So we're doing an adventure game today, guys. We're doing one of those, like, let's learn adventure games, and let's just go with it. I apologize for the viewers right now, but I got a Canon T2i. Let's see. I'm just going to say $200, right? $200. We are on our way there. Now, what is the next lens you get, right? What is the next lens you're going to grab? I would start looking at... Oh, and by the way, take a look. It's $189. Okay, it's going to be $200 with shipping already. So let's just put $200. It's going to be $200 period with it. So there's no SD card, but I can probably pick one up for under $10 or even get something for free. So let's just call this hustle mode. We're in hustle mode. We're trying to get some cheap stuff. Now, the next lens I would probably look for is probably the the Yongnuo 50 millimeter. That's what I would go for right now. So let's go. I'm gonna go to Amazon, and let's see here. Let's go Yongnuo 50 millimeter f1.8. It's $52, right? $52 for the Yongnuo. $52. That is not a bad 50 millimeter lens. We'll save some money. And yeah, it's noisy and loud, but the game I have a very specific game plan. So So let's jump back into our little cheat sheet here. We're going to say 50 millimeter lens, and we'll just round it off to $50. Let's just put $55 to make things simple. Remember, we're working on a very limited budget, maybe like $500. Our goal is to get off the ground, because what I want to do is start doing portrait photography, portrait photos, and a 50 is going to help us start there. People would say you might want to get an 85. The problem is the working distance on an 85 might be a little more tricky. I think a 51.8 is good enough to get you going. And then what we're going to do is spend some money. We're going to spend a little bit of money on some lighting. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some Yongnuo flashes. Let's see here. We don't really need anything crazy. We can probably spend... wait, this already comes with 2 lights. I think I would probably look at this one here. If we want TTL, we can probably get a different flash. But let's say we're really on a budget and we want to save all our money on everything we need to do, then we should go this route. So we have the Yongnuo YN654 built-in wireless flash trigger system. So let's talk about Yongnuo Light. $65. I know, guys, this is like I'm all over the place here, but this is kind of one of those things where you just run with it, right? And then let's look for a trigger or some sort, or like a transmitter. Yongnuo transmitter, Canon, right? Yongnuo Canon transmitter. All right, so I would need to do some more research to make sure this is it, but let's just, for the sake of this, Yongnuo transmitter, this is the one I'm going to look at. It's $37. I know there's a cheaper one, the old school stuff, but I just need something to trigger that flash, and I could probably save even more money. Let me just round that up to $40 to make our lives a lot simpler on our mathematics. So we're at 250, let's say 300, 350. We're at like a 350 right now. So far, we're at 350 US dollars with our total price. Let's go ahead and buy a cheap flash umbrella bracket. There we go. It's like 20 bucks. Or we got a light stand right here with this generic bracket flash kit. I'm pretty sure for about, I don't know, 20 bucks we can probably get like a cheap flash kit set up. Let's just round it off to $25. So, flash kit setup, maybe 25 bucks. Okay? And we'll just round up and say everything's going to cost us about $400 because there might be some taxes and some shipping fees or what have you. So, there it is. That's it. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to shoot some portraits. Let's just say I included the cost of the SD card already. That way I can say that already. Cost of SD card. Let's just say SD card, spare battery. I don't know. Let's just say another 25 bucks, right? And that's going to put us at the $400 range. So for $400, I'm already set to go, right? You, in your mind, you are still that photographer that's very skilled, right? So you can still do some really good work. Let's say you start doing senior portraits. You start charging, I don't know, you start at 50 bucks. Maybe you start doing $100 clienteles. $100 for about an hour, and you're able to pull that off. I think you're on your way. So that's what I would do if I was gonna start from ground zero and go from there. Now, my next question would be what would I do next? Let's say, for example, I'm doing portraits, and now I want to move on to weddings. I want to start making $1,000 for my work, $2,000. And it all depends on where you live and what you do and in the surrounding areas. But let's say you've made some money. You've earned some money. Let's say you've earned another $1,000. Say you've earned another $1,000 from your work. The next question is, what do you do with that $1,000? Well, I would start looking at some options here. If I was going to start shooting some weddings, I would potentially, right? I would grab another Canon T2i for $200 if I can snag one, if I'm just patient enough, right? I would just get another T2i. And what I would do is I would look at some couple of wide angle options. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab. I would grab the Sigma 1750 as kind of my all-around wedding lens. Now let's go ahead and jump to eBay really quick and take a look at this. I have this lens. I've had it for a long time, and my goodness, I really love this lens. It is the best bang for buck, has stabilization. Okay, I'm seeing it go for $279. We're just going to round up to $300 to keep it fair. So we grabbed another T2i because we're going to shoot some weddings. We want one backup camera, right? So we got a 1750, and we could now consider grabbing an 85mm lens or even a 70-200 Sigma. So let's take a look. If we pinch our dollars enough, we might be able to find a Sigma 70-200 f2.8. We already see one right here from Robert's Camera for $381. That might not be the one you want to grab because you want to grab one with stabilization. So let's go take a look. f2.8 OS. All right, so here we go. There's some going for about $700. I picked mine up for $650. I got mine off from a forum for $650. I'd probably hunt around a little bit longer and see if I could get one. So let's say, for example, my budget right now is $300 and $200. So I've got my T2i and I got a 1750 right here. I would push for the Sigma, go straight to the Sigma 70-200. Okay, that's what I would do. So what I would do is I would try to make do with this. I would probably shoot like a wedding. Let's say I just grab the Canon 85mm f1.8. Let's just say I needed a telephoto lens. So let me go back over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a Canon 85mm f1.8. Let's see what's the lowest I can grab one for reasonably. Let's just say $300. That looks fair. So there is a Yongnuo version of the 85. No good. I tried it out. I bought it. It's not a very good lens. So let's just say another $300. We're still within budget here. Okay. So we're spending about $300, $600, $800. We've spent $800 of our additional capital that we've earned from doing portrait sessions. Now we're going to go in and shoot some weddings. Let's say we're charging $1,000. We do a couple of gigs. Now we've made $3,000 after three wedding gigs, right? So we're at $3,000. Now what can you do? How can you upgrade? So we're at this point. I'm definitely going to go ahead and clock in and get my Sigma 70-200. So let's go ahead and go to my Sigma 70-200 right here. And let me jump to the other camera. Guys, I know this is all over the place. I don't know if there's any interest or validity to it. But I saw the Sigma 70-200. I've seen it go for $650 on my end, but I'm just going to be conservative on the value here. Say $750, okay? $750. We have $3,000 now. We've earned $3,000 after we shot some weddings. We have some money to play around with. What I want to do now is upgrade to full frame. I want to get some better low light capabilities, and I want to charge more for my weddings, and I want a camera that's going to perform better for me. So let's go and take a look. We have a couple of options. We can go to Canon 5D Mark II, which is still a very solid camera. Let's take a look at the prices that they're going for right now. Holy smokes. All right, they're non-working. Okay. $879. Holy smokes. You've got to be kidding me. Camera's good, charger not included, good condition. My goodness. Man, I had a really good quality Canon 5D Mark II. I sold it for like $800 or so with the grip. Looks in great condition. Okay, folks, I'm going to just say averaged out. Let's say we're going to spend about $750 on a 5D Mark II. We're going to grab two of them. We're going to grab two of these full frame cameras because we want to step it up. Really quick, though, I want to check how the Canon 6D Mark II is doing. All right? Let's take a look on how that's doing right now. What is going on here, guys? Oh, Canon 6D Mark II is not even out. What am I talking about here? All right. Let's see. Come on, eBay. What is going on here? All right, it's getting screwed up. Canon 6D. What am I? All right, here we go. Used prices for Canon 6D. Let's go ahead and navigate to used price. And I do apologize. This is sort of on the this is all in the US market for the most part. All right. I'm seeing under almost $1,000. All right. So we're going to go the route of the 5D Mark II. And let's say we hustle really well, 5D Mark II. And we're going to go ahead and get them for $750 each, right? So we're going to get 2 of them. So times 2. Let me jump back to the other window because I'm stupid here. Go back to the other window. We're going to go with, guys, this is all live, man. This is all happening right now. All this planning right now. We're going to go with 2 of them. We're going to go at $1,500. And that's going to put us at, what, $2,250? So we're at $2,250. We still have $650 to $750. Yeah, we still have $750. But here's the thing. We have $750. We're gonna go ahead and sell off our 2 Canon T2Is for like $150 each. So we're gonna get another $300 on our plate. We're gonna go back to $1050 on here, right? So we're at $1050 again. We're gonna sell our Sigma 1750 because we don't need it anymore. Let's say we're gonna make $200 off that. So we're now up to $1250 on that, right? So we have some money. I want to go ahead and grab a 24-70 f2.8 lens. So let's go ahead and go online. We're going to look for the first gen model. So let's go Canon 24-70. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see. I'd rather go the Canon route, but look at this. We can go the Tamron route. Holy smokes. Why not that? Let's just do that. Let's save some money while we're still upgrading our gear. Okay, let's save some cash. Let's play it safe. Let's say the price is $700. I'm seeing under $700 here. So let's say we're gonna go ahead and upgrade to the Tamron 24-70. Okay, Tamron 24-70, and that's gonna run us $700. And now we're back down to $550. We got $550 left. And the lens that I really like is the 1740 Canon. I know there's some other options out there, but I'm seeing the Canon 1740 go for about $450. So I have enough to get that Canon 17-40, and that is $450. All right, so I have $100 left. Sorry, folks. Let me jump back to this window over here because I am crazy. There it is. We have $550 left. And then we have the Canon 1740, and then we have $100 left over. This entire chart's going all out of whack. But take a look. We have 2 full frame bodies now. All right. We have a 24-70, a 70-200, a 1740, and an 85mm lens. We could probably change up the system a little bit, but we started with $500 US. We hustled. Maybe we did 10 portrait sessions to make $1,000, and then we used that $1,000 to get a secondary Canon T2i, a 1750 kit lens, and an 85 f1.8, maybe a light or 2. We could probably incorporate that. We took that gear equipment that we did. We shot 3 weddings, $1,000 a piece. We did and we used those $3,000 to invest in 2 full frame Canon 5D Mark IIs, 70-200. And then we still had some money left. We sold our APS-C bodies, the T2Is, and the APS-C lens, the 1750. And we picked up a Tamron 24-70 f2.8 VC and an ultra-wide 1740. So pretty much at this point, you have all your bases covered. You're like ready to go. You can start charging $1,500, $2,000, depending on wherever you are with your stuff. Obviously, I didn't incorporate the cost of CF cards and stuff like that. That's a whole different story. But you get the idea. Right? That's how I would approach it. I'd probably start marketing, going on Instagram, going on Facebook, advertising, posting constantly on a daily basis, doing more portraits on the side, upgrading my lighting. That's the approach I would take, right? I definitely did not really advance the lighting updates. I would definitely be investing in some lights when I would be starting to shoot some weddings, maybe add some additional Yongnuo lights, maybe the 600 EXRT series that they have because I'm more comfortable with those. But that's the path I would take. I know this is a big rambling video. You're going to hate me for it. I get it. I know. But I am very curious. If you had to start from ground zero, you had to start all over again, what would be your first take? If you had $500 and you had to get yourself up to the professional level again, like you had to take yourself from here, bring yourself up to a level that you're comfortable working with, how would you do it? What would you do? What would be the route you take? So again, you have $500. what do you do? What do you get? What do you buy? And how do you go from there? Guys, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm very interested. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say. Again, if you want to support the work that I do, consider using my affiliate links in the description below about anything we talked about today. And if you want to see any more other my videos, they're posted somewhere around here on the screen. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the video if you found it helpful. Dislike if you didn't find it useful. And with that said, I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and I'll catch you on the next podcast, guys. Love you guys. Bye.